RealSeven is too shy to record this by himself, so he asked me if I could read this out loud for you guys. Thank you for 500 subscribers. I wanted to make this video a special one and thought I would tell you guys a little bit about my Trials journey. Before Trials Fusion was released, I used to watch some German YouTubers play Trials Evolution MP from time to time, and decided to buy Evolution Gold Edition on PC. I played through the career tracks but couldn't pass the extremes. I ended up losing motivation fast and eventually stopped playing the game. Towards the end of 2013 I got my PlayStation 4, and at some point I stumbled across the launch trailer of Trials Fusion and decided to pick up the game on its release. April 15, 2014, the day everything started. I instantly got hooked, and this time around I wasn't just gonna give up when reaching the extreme tracks. The grind began. I don't remember too many details from back then, but one thing I remember like it was yesterday is playing Inferno 4 for the first time. I was sitting there for like an hour on just the first checkpoint trying to get to the second one, but it was impossible for me at the time. I decided to focus on the other extreme tracks first and come back to Inferno 4 later on. And after some months of grinding I eventually ended up zeroing all the extremes. That was when the grind for single-player score began, and all I ever did on the game was speed running. Of course I knew that Track Central existed, but back then I was thinking to myself, why would you waste your time on tracks that don't give you score? So it wasn't until around September that I played some TC tracks for the first time, and I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it so much that I decided I wanted to build a track as well. October 3rd of 2014 was the day I entered the editor for the very first time. I struggled with it at first, but after a few hours of trial and error, I slowly got the hang of it, and at the end of that day I ended up releasing my very first track, called First Ninja. It was really exciting back then to check the leaderboards every day to see if other players would actually play my track. Soon after uploading my first track I thought, why not build more tracks? And that was exactly what I started doing. I think I released 4 or 5 more tracks until the end of the year, and many more the following years, and people seemed to enjoy playing them. Then in January of 2015 Slick built the level 4 track Contra on PS4, and I decided to grind that track to make it my first ever level 4 pass. I wish I would remember the amount of timeouts on it, but unfortunately I didn't keep track of those things back then. You might be wondering when I passed my first level 1, 2, and 3. But to be honest, I have no clue. I didn't care about ninja levels back then and didn't keep track of anything. All I can say is, having zeroed all extreme tracks, including DLCs, is insanely helpful for lower level ninjas, therefore I never really struggled too much on level 1s, 2s, or 3s. Soon after that first level 4 pass I went and got myself an Xbox One, and after trying out the different controller I instantly liked it better than the PlayStation controller and decided to make the switch. Since that day I am playing with regular Xbox One controllers. Since I didn't keep track of passes and didn't upload to YouTube back then, I have no idea how many or which level 4s I have passed in the following weeks and months. But all of that changed on April 8, 2015 when I decided to upload my very first YouTube video, my pass on Softline, a level 4 built by Plop. Czar, if you see this, thanks for your comment back then. That one simple comment made me really happy and was really motivating. I started uploading good runs I got, no matter the ninja level. In May of 2015, I started remaking a popular Trials Evolution track called Ragnarok. All with the help of YouTube videos, since I haven't played Evolution myself, except those few career tracks back in 2013. And soon after releasing that track I ended up passing it after one timeout, making it my first ever level 5 track passed on June 1, 2015. In the following months I only passed 2 more level 5s since Rocket League has been released, and I was playing a lot of that. And at the end of October my first big trials break started when I went to Australia for 9 months. I was traveling for the first month, spending all my money, then tried to find work and ended up working on a banana farm for a bit over 6 months saving some money. Before coming back home, I went to New York for a week, and after that I was back, and after a few days my trials addiction was back as well. One big achievement for myself in October of 2016 was finishing Ice Climb. Since grinding it for many hours to get the platinum medal in 2014, I wanted to finish it one day, and that day finally came. I remember being extremely happy about that Ice Climb pass. In the following months I didn't play too much trials, since I got myself a PC, and mainly playing Rocket League. The first run on my YouTube channel that I got on PC was a speed run on Halcyon by Zach, uploaded in January of 2017. Then in the next few months I passed some more level 5s, and eventually passing a level 6 didn't seem out of reach anymore. So I started to look through various level 6s on YouTube to find one that I would start grinding. I picked Brutality, and yes, I know, most of you will think, why? Why would you do that? But still to this day I think that Brutality is the easiest level 6 for someone that isn't quote-unquote good enough to pass a level 6. After 2 timeouts I passed Brutality on May 31st of 2017. Soon after, many of you guys told me to try and zero a level 4, and so I did. On June 13, 2017, I managed to zero Nihil by Zach. And just 2 days later I zeroed Himalaya by Cole. For the next 9 months I was taking it easier on trials, still uploading some speedruns on lower level ninjas from time to time, but I was mainly playing Rocket League. On April 30, 2018, I got a crazy run on Igneous by Slick, which is probably still up to this day my best run on a level 4. A little over 6 months later, on November 9th I zeroed my 50th level 4. For that milestone I picked one of my own tracks, Slayer. And soon after that, on November 21, 2018, I managed to get my first level 5-0. The track I picked was Divine Mountain by Rafu. After I got that level 5-0, many of you guys started telling me to try and pass a level 7. And only 2 weeks later, on December 4th, I ended up passing Sabotage by Slick after 1 timeout, followed by Sumrak and Plopandary soon after. At the end of February 2019, Trials Rising was released, and for the following 5 weeks that was the game I was playing. I did some speed running at first, even managed to get some diamonds, around 30 in total if I remember correctly. I passed 1 level 6, zeroed a few level 4s and built 1 track. But after those 5 weeks of Rising I took a 4 to 5 month break. After that break I wasn't back for good though, I only played for a few weeks and then took another 8-month break. When I came back after that long break, I somehow managed to zero the level 5 from nothing by Todwap after only playing for 4 hours. I still don't understand how that happened, but I guess breaks can be helpful sometimes. And after only uploading 3 more YouTube videos I took another 3-month break. When I started playing again in August I started streaming a lot as well. During the week I streamed 5+ hours every day and I loved it. On September 29, 2020, I got a 17 fault run on Dystopian Rider 2.0, which is up to this day my lowest fault run on a level 7. In October, K-Mine hosted his first ever triathlon challenge. A challenge where you have to zero fault 3 tracks consecutively. The tracks are picked by K-Mine and are usually level 3s. The 3 tracks in the first challenge were Ascension Ninja, Heroes Ascent, and Origins. After a 14-hour grind over 2 days I managed to zero all those 3 tracks in a row for a prize of $100. In the following weeks I passed more level 7s and zeroed more level 4s, but then in December my PC broke, which forced me to take another 1-month break. But when I fixed it at the end of January of 2021, Nox's mod was released, and even though I didn't feel as big of a performance improvement as other players, it evidently helped me improve further. I started passing harder level 6s like Predator, Ultranox, and Galner without really struggling on them. On March 5, 2021, I zeroed Reflection by Skillbo Baggins, which some players consider a level 6, but most players think it's a 5 since it's so short. It is very borderline, but personally I would put it closer to level 5 as well. So as of today I haven't zeroed a level 6 yet. My lowest fault runs on level 6s are Tropic with 1 fault, Iliad and Not Human with 2 faults, Radiant Eclipse with 4 faults, Throttle God with 5 faults, and Hilston Ride-Up with 6 faults. Even though it's not my lowest fault run on a level 6, my 11 fault run on Pure that I got on December 10, 2021, is my best and hardest to beat level 6 run. Soon after the Reflection Zero, I started grinding Odyssey by Eldritch KJ. I ended up passing the plus checkpoint version after 10 timeouts on March 23, as well as all the individual checkpoints. But the full track still felt too hard, so I didn't attempt it yet. In the following weeks I passed more level 6s and 7s, zeroed more level 4s and 5s, and in May I started a new YouTube series called Hidden Methods that people seem to really enjoy. By the way, I still have some more hidden methods recorded, so stay tuned for that. Alright, I've only talked about passes so far, but what about timeouts? I've had a few bad ones over the years, but the worst one by far happened on July 29, 2021 on Annihilation by Plop. It would have been a pass if he hadn't placed an unnecessary slide at the very end of the track. Just like many of you guys have told me to pass a level 7 back in 2018, you have done the same this year, but with level 8. And on August 19, after 8 timeouts, I managed to pass Vicious by Slick. And only about a month later, on September 23, I managed to pass Odyssey after only 2 timeouts. Don't ask. I still don't know how that happened. But yeah, Odyssey, up to this day is the hardest track I've passed on this game. In total I have now zeroed 120 level 4s and 15 level 5s. I passed 2 level 8s, 38 level 7s and 79 level 6s, maybe more, but 79 I have tracked. And what's crazy as well is the number of videos I have uploaded to YouTube throughout all those years. 387. Way more than I would have guessed. If you're still watching, thank you so much. And if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like. See you next time. Peace.